Alright, so we're going to winterize our lawnmower. It's actually really easy to do. The first step is actually safety. If you can turn off the fuel to the engine, do that first, and then unplug the spark plug. When you flip over your mower to remove the lawnmower blades, make sure the air filter is up. This prevents oil and liquids from spilling out. And just take off the blades. It's going to make cleaning the deck a lot easier if the blade's not there. Now this is a great time to sharpen those blades. I do have a video I'll link to in the description, and it's pretty easy. That way in the springtime you're good to go. You got fresh sharp blades to go. In my case I didn't need to do it because these are brand new blades that are still sharp. Now I'm scraping all the gunk off of the bottom of the mower. You can be as crazy as you want. I try to do a pretty good job here, but I don't go for perfection. I know some of you guys might actually do that, but I just scrape the majority of it off. Now I'm giving the bottom of the deck a good rinse off. With the Honda, it's a plastic deck, so this stuff comes off really easy. You can use a pressure washer. I've done that before. I didn't feel like pulling it out, so I just did a rinse and pretty much everything came off, so good to go. Now it's time to rinse off all the dust and gunk off of the mower. It's pretty easy, just hose it down. Now a lot of people ask me about this nozzle. I actually got it at Ace Hardware. It's their really cheap sprayer nozzle. I feel like it gives a good spray pattern and flow, so I like using it. You can use a pressure washer, but it's really not necessary for this step. Now I'm giving it a good old-fashioned scrub down with some soap and water. A lot of people are afraid to do this on your lawn. I actually put soap on my lawn to soften the soil, so don't worry about it. Just use the cheap dollar store dish soap and it'll do great. Now in the past I have used the turtle wax on the mower because this mower, the deck, is the same material as car bumpers, so it gives a nice shine. But you don't have to do that. This time I just used regular soap and it still shined just great. And of course, give it a final rinse down, get all the soap off there, and man, look how nice and shiny it's looking. Next, you want to get the blower out, blow all the moisture off that you can, especially if you're winterizing this. Now in this video it's warm out, but if it's freezing cold, you don't want all that water to start freezing on everything. So blow it off and you're good to go. You might also want to get a towel there and, dry it off that way, but I found the blower worked just fine. And of course put the lawnmower blades back on. You'll be good to go. Alright, so the most crucial part of winterizing is going to be fuel stabilizer in your lawnmower. Now this is sta-bil brand. It's storage, 24 months. It'll keep the fuel fresh. Now the problem with most lawnmowers is the ethanol in the gas. It gums up with the water and the air and over the freezing and thawing and all that stuff in the air. It gums everything up inside, and you can tell I'm not a mechanic and I'm not using technical terms, but basically gumming up is the official phrase I'm going to use. So it just destroys the internal mower, and it just is not good at all. So by putting some of this in your fuel, then it's preventing all that from happening, and you won't have any issues starting it up in the springtime. So right now you can tell from watching it's not really snowing. There's still leaves on trees. It's still time to mow. So what I personally do is I start using this right away in the fall when it starts to get cool. I get fresh gas, fresh sta-bil, and I mix it up and I start using that every day. So if it freezes overnight, I don't have to worry about any liquids in the any moisture in the gas or anything like that. It's not an issue. And then what you want to do when it's time to actually winterize is, again, use fresh fuel, put some of this in, and fill it up to I think it's 85 or 90%. You want to leave some space for air so it's not it's got room to expand, but you want it full. And the reason is your mower isn't designed to dry out, and so some people will just run it completely dry, and then the plastics over time can start to get brittle because they get too dry. Now, doing it this way, you've got the fresh fuel, you got the stabilizer in it, it's not going to have problems with the ethanol, and so by keeping it full, everything in there stays nice and moist and it doesn't freeze, and you're good to go in the springtime. So the key is fresh fuel. Now, if you remember last year, because of the renovation, I forgot to do this. I used old fuel and I didn't use stabilizer in it, and I ended up having issues in the springtime. Now, obviously you can get it going still, but it's better off to just do it the right way to begin with so you don't do any permanent damage. I was lucky enough where I was able to get it going without having to replace any engine parts. And I will say a little shout out to sta-bil. They sent me this and 2 other products I'm going to show you how to use to show in my videos. Now, I use this stuff anyways, so I thought it was awesome. They're not paying me to mention it, they just sent it. I said, sure, if you send it to me, I'll use it, because I mean, I use it anyways. But yeah, so I appreciate it, guys, and I'll show you how easy it is. I got some fuel. Let's see, what's a good spot to do this? You guys are gonna like, if you've never done this before, you're gonna laugh at how easy it is. It says to use 1 ounce for 2.5 gallons. I always use a 1 gallon container, but if you're doing more, you do 1 ounce per 2.5. And note here, you put the date when you open the bottle. I didn't know that you're supposed to do that. So that's important to realize. And then this is literally how easy it is. It says on the side. So you just go, okay, gotta put in 1 ounce. You're good to go. I mean, it's literally the cheapest thing you could do to keep your lawnmower running great. I use this year round, actually. I showed it in a video once, and then I tried to show it in another video, but the camera battery died, so I didn't actually show you guys. But every time I get fuel, I put sta-bil in it, and then I just don't have any issues anymore. And I only do 1 gallon at a time because my lawn isn't that big, and so I don't want to be using old fuel. Then you just mix it a little bit, good to go. Now, let's fill up the mower. Now, if you have any leftover fuel, put it in your car. Don't leave it over the winter. I know sta-bil says it'll last 24 months, but you might as well just put it in your car, get fresh fuel in the springtime, and be good to go. All right, so this next sip is going a little bit further than I used to go, and it's actually pretty interesting. I always read that you're supposed to do this, but I thought it was a lot more complicated than it was. But sta-bil sent me this fogging oil. So they always say you're supposed to put some oil into the engine after you winterize it to keep everything good in there. And I've always been like, what kind of oil? So I always skipped that one, which probably wasn't the best. But now that I got this, I'll show you actually how to use this. And it's a lot easier than I thought. So that's kind of why I love making these videos and showing you guys this stuff. All this stuff is super easy. But when you don't know how to do it, you think, it's too big, too difficult, and you end up not doing it, and then you end up, having to buy a new lawnmower quicker. So here's how to do it. All right, sorry for the awkward shot, but take off the air filter from the lawnmower. All right, so now you're gonna start up the lawnmower, and you're just gonna spray the fogging oil into the little hole where it takes the air in. And you're going to notice the white smoke coming out. You do this for about 10 seconds and you're good to go. All right, you see that white cloud? That was the oil making it into the engine. Simple as that. Now there's nice oil inside the engine that's going to keep it from rusting over the winter. Alright, now you're going to take the spark plug off and you're going to spray some of the fogging oil directly into the engine. You're going to put the little tube on the spray can, and I think it was about 3 seconds you spray it in there and it fogs up and puts a nice coating of oil on everything. No rust. There you go. That's how easy it is. Now we're just going to put the spark plug back on. You can see there's a nice bit of oil on there. It's nice and shiny. Alright guys, so now you could replace the air filter and spark plug and oil right now. For whatever reason, I like doing that in the springtime. I don't think it really matters which way you do it, but for me, doing the oil change, air filter, spark plug every springtime, that's my thing. So I'll show you guys how to do that. In fact, I think I've already done a video on that. I'll try to link to it in the description. Alright, so the last tip is to use something like this rust stopper. Basically, you're going to spray anything that will rust, and it's going to prevent it from rusting. So this is the easiest part. Just go around, spray anything that might rust. You know, if you see anything that is rusting, spray a little bit on there. Get any bolts and different things. I mean, there's metal all around, and it's not going to hurt to spray this liberally all over the metal parts, because it's just going to keep it from rusting over the winter if anything, water leaks on it or anything. And you know, you don't want to have stuff rusting apart on you. So there you go. Now it's ready to be packed away. It's kind of a sad time of the year for us, but yeah. This is like the worst video I've ever had to record. I don't like this time of year where you're packing it up to go. So, but we gotta do it so in the springtime we can be good to go. You really want to get this stuff done, because even though it's so sad and depressing doing this, you don't want to be in that long line of people trying to get their lawnmowers fixed up in the springtime. The guy out first mowing with your equipment running right. And so there you go. That's how to get your mower nice. Wondering if I should put a blanket over it and keep it warm. Is that a little too weird? Alright, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. It's what makes this really enjoyable and fun, making all these videos. And be sure to check out the ones below. Have a great day. Bye.